Hey everybody, One Empire here. Today I'm going to show you how to sharpen a knife without any special knife sharpeners. As you can see here, this knife is smooth on this side for the blade, and when I flip it over, we've got these micro serrations. These types of knives are often touted as never sharpen or they don't get dull, and that's just a complete crock. I'm going to show you how to use things that should be available in your hotel, especially if it's an extended stay or a suite type hotel where they provide you with bowls and glasses and silverware and cutlery and knives, kitchenware. This is the angle I'm trying to show it to you. It doesn't show up on camera very well, but I'm just looking at it to see kind of what angle I'm going to be using when I go to sharpen it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a professional knife sharpener or anything like that. I've been developing these skills. It's something that, while in isolation, you might consider practicing, because it does take practice and it does take time, but a lot of people have a lot of time to put in a lot of practice right now. So here I'm showing kind of the angle that I've found the blade is cut at, or ground, depending on how you look at it. And that's probably around maybe 20 to 30 degrees. Leave a comment below what you think, or what kind of knives versus razors use what different angles. Either way, when you find that angle, go ahead and place it on the bottom part of your ceramic, either a bowl or a cup, mug, even a plate, and just start kind of slicing along, keeping that angle constant and trying to make sure that the entire surface of the blade is being abraded basically by that rough surface. And then go ahead and flip it over and do the serrated side. If yours aren't serrated, you don't necessarily have to switch directions like I'm about to, but serrations I've found have a requirement to kind of do one direction like I'm doing here, and then the other direction like I showed previously. Now, my technique is not perfect, so I would highly suggest you go find a video on knife sharpening techniques. This is more of a theory on how to use what's available to sharpen the knife. Now, this is a skill. I need you to understand that, because you can't just go in here and expect to grab a mug and turn a dull knife into a razor. I have to emphasize that it does take a lot of practice, and what better way to practice than when you're stuck all by yourself in a hotel room and have crappy, dull knives. There's a lot of time to get really good at this, and this does translate into sharpening other knives using traditional techniques like whetstones and stuff. Now, yeah, there's sharpeners out there that you just kind of stick them in there and pull them through and they work, and that's fine. But the point of this video is when you don't have that. This knife was very, very dull, and to be frank, it was pretty dangerous, because if you know anything about knives, they need to be sharp to be safe. The sharper a knife is, the safer it is, the better you can cut, and the happier you'll be, because this one was relying pretty much on its serrations and a huge amount of pressure, downward pressure, to cut things, and it was more like chopping with an axe. And just, I don't want to complain about it too much, but this is why I ended up doing this. Now, for video purposes, I'm just showing you because I'm filming with one hand. I don't have my tripod, but this is essentially what I was doing, but I was using my other hand to stabilize that bowl, and that allowed me to use a little more pressure to get the edge like it's supposed to. Again, I'm not going to go too much into the technique here, but this is more or less what you're doing. Now, spending a little extra time on that tip because it's non-serrated, and it's generally something that you want to do when you're sharpening knives anyway, because it's kind of difficult to get that tip just like it's supposed to be until you've really developed the skill. And the tip of the knife is very important, especially if you're doing plunges and that sort of cutting, if you're cutting onions. That's about all I'm going to show you for that part. So go ahead and clean off anything, clean the bottom part of your bowl or whatever cup you're using, and you can see it's not razor sharp, and I didn't do a before shot, but it is definitely an improvement and it cuts a lot better. So that's about all I have for now. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and if it has, like, subscribe, maybe even ring that bell, and share it with your friends. And that's all I have for now. One Empire, signing off. See you!